Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Magical Maidens Jewelry Tutorials. So welcome, and today I have a few different projects that I'm doing, so I'm just going to show you and we'll get into it now. So I just have a few different projects I'm going to be showing you that I'm working on, so let's get into it. Okay, one of the projects I have right here is I printed out some digital collages, and you can find a lot for free. You can even make your own if you use Pizap, P-I-Z-A-P, free online photo collage editor. It does other things, but one of them is collages, and it has different shapes. And if you pick circles, there's one with a bunch of ovals, and then you can size it and add your own to it. And then there's many more. But you could also get digital collages already made off the internet or some free ones. Find a bunch online, they're for free. And if you don't find some for free, you can go on Pinterest and there might be some. But you could also click and then go to their Etsy, and they have it for like $1, $2 the most for a digital upload, and it's instant. You get it instantly. You can get a whole bunch, and they come out nice and clear that way. And then you just print them out on some glossy. Okay, I would print them out on some glossy photo paper. Okay, so I've already cut out one that I wanted. Now you might want to make two because they have different pictures unless you're making your own collage. I have another one. It's drying. It just printed, so I don't want to like put this on top of it. Because if, say, I want 2 of these roses, well, you're only going to get 1. And that's for a project that I'm going to do later, because I have some unboxing and reviews coming up from Panda Hole Selected that you're not going to want to miss. So if you're not subscribed, do that now. And if you didn't click the notification bell, do that now as well, so you're notified when I upload my newest content. And that would be my upcoming product review and unboxing of some Panda Hole Selected things. And that's my cat as usual. So I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be using this in some of the things that I got from Panda Hole Selected. But you'll have to wait till I receive the products. They still aren't here yet. Okay. So that's one of the projects, and it includes using some Mod Podge. Okay. And you're going to need, and I don't know what I did with my paintbrush. Oh, here it is. You're going to need a paintbrush of some kind. Okay. Some scissors. This is another project right here. I'm going to put that. So you're going to need some scissors, some Mod Podge, a paintbrush, and you're also going to need a digital collage and some pendant trays with glass cabochons. Okay, so these were some, they come a whole lot, and I've already used a bunch, and they come with the matching glass cabochons, which you want to make sure that you clean thoroughly with some rubbing alcohol and a clean Q-tip, because what happens is that you might have your fingerprints on it, and then once you go over that, your fingerprints are in front of whatever you put in there. So some of you know how to do this already. And part of the project is what you're going to do is you're going to take, now this is one I did, and you see that? It's drying on the back. It's already dry. It's already clear. And forgive me, that's my fan on my computer. See? All right. So that's kind of dry. What I did was I took a photo that was here, okay? And you can do it any way you want. You can pre-cut it, or you can, you know, because for these big ones, they're 30 by 40, but you don't have to use the whole thing because, because these are definitely smaller, okay? You see? You can put one of these in there. Okay, so what I did was, Rudy, what is it? My cat Rudy wants attention. Okay. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Okay, so now some of you have seen my projects that I did with my last necklace. It was a Gothic Victorian necklace, and I used some glittery cardstock and a plastic rose, okay? And you also need some E6000 glue, some toothpicks for that, and always have some paper towels at hand for a mess, okay? But for this project, what I did was, you can do it right on there. What I did was, I'm just showing you, I didn't do it on camera because I don't use this method. You can use many methods to put a picture in a glass cabochon. I cleaned my glass cabochon with some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. Once I knew that it was cleaned on the flat side, because you could always clean the other side, the rounder domed side, later. But for the flat side, make sure it's clean and dry. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put some Mod Podge on the photo that you want, or the area. Say I don't want this whole thing and I just want maybe like that. It could be on an angle, it could be like this, it could be straight, you know what I mean? And I just want that. So what I would do is I would put some Mod Podge on the area that I am going to want. I'd let that dry for about 10-15 minutes. So first you're going to put some Mod Podge over on the picture in the area that you decided. Let it sit for about 10 minutes or so. Then you're going to come back and you're going to put a little more in that area. Then you're going to put a little more Mod Podge on the flat side. Make sure that it's clean, like I said. Hold it like that after you clean it. And then you're going to place it where you want it. And then kind of move it around. Now, if you have any bubbles, take your little brush, paintbrush. This is a makeup brush. I didn't have it. I have paintbrushes, but it was on a whim. So I just took what I needed. And then I made sure the bubbles were out, and I left it on there, and I walked away, and I left it there overnight because it's got to clear up. So you're probably going to leave it overnight, so don't be impatient with this project. If you're impatient, it's not going to turn out right. You're going to waste pictures, paper, Mod Podge, and your time. So like I said, use a little patience. Do a whole bunch of them at once. If you're not sure about this project, do one just to see how it's going to turn out. Once it's done, the next day you're going to cut it, okay? And you're going to gently cut it and trim around the edges, and it should be drying all clear, okay? Once it does, it should look like this, okay? So this is how I cut. Now then you're going to put some Mod Podge on the back. It's wet right now, it's drying, because what I'm going to do is once this Mod Podge is dry, I'm going to take a little bit of E6000 glue and I'm going to glue it to this pendant. Now, the reason why I did the Mod Podge on the back is to protect it, to have like a coating. So you want to put enough, you don't have to drown it, but enough. And the reason being is because when you then put your E6000 glue, it might bleed through your photo. No matter how thick it is, it will. I've done this before and it does. So you don't want that, because then it kind of makes it like a stain, and you don't want that to happen to your photo, okay? So just put some and let it sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Once it's dry, and this one is not, once it's dry, you put a little E6000 glue on your pendant tray using a toothpick, and then place this down, position it, and there you have a nice picture in there. So that works, okay? For another method, if you want, you do the same thing though. You cut out the picture prior, and then what you do is you take your glass cabochon and you put just a dab in the center of E6000 glue, and then push down your glass cabochon over the area that you want, and kind of move it to get the bubbles out. Now, once that's done and dry, you can glue it to your pendant tray, but you're going to have to paint the back of your the back of it, or something to protect the glue from going on the back. So that's another method. I've done that many times, but you tend to get a lot of bubbles. You really got to spend a lot of time messing with it, and it's not a perfect craft. You may or may not come out with it looking perfect. So this is a better deal using Mod Podge. This one was just what I had. This is gloss, but you can use a matte. And then they have a special Mod Podge that's specifically for photographs, and it comes in a little tube, a little long flat tube. But I didn't have that. I'm just using what I have because I don't have the money to go out and spend for every new craft I think of. So sometimes So sometimes I just use what I have and it works. So once that's dry, I'm going to glue it on here and I'm going to show you the end result. But it's drying, so I'm going to put this aside for now. Okay, so this necklace I'm working on is the one that I used the Mod Podge with. And it's going to be a spring Victorian necklace. So I used this chain that I got off of one of my unboxing and reviews. It's either the Panda Hole or the BB Craft. You'll have to look on my jewelry tutorial playlist. They come in different colors. You get a set of them. I got a dark purple, this topaz, a pink, and I got a red and a blue, a light blue. And they're really nice. They come in a long chain and you cut it to whatever length you need. And then go ahead and create. So the first thing I did was I sat around saying, how do I want to do this? And I tried a few different things and I laid them in front of it. So I want to make it all the colors of spring. And I wanted to use this yellow topaz because it'll pick up the yellowish kind of green in there and the green. But to bring in the green and the spring, I've got this. So now what I need is I need a head pin and green color acrylic gemstones as well, and I'm going to glue them. But I'm going to glue the acrylic gemstones when I'm all done because I've got to attach this bead. Then after I attach this bead, I've got to see where I'm going to cut the chain to add the butterflies. And I got that. Now I'm going to get a 4mm jump ring and I'm going to attach it. But I did that. Now you can certainly leave it like this, but then it wouldn't be that fancy. And we know in Victorian times, everything was very ornate and fancy. Okay. So the reason why I don't tell you what I cut this to is because everybody wants it a different length. You can cut it to whatever length you want. If you want this to be a choker, you make it about, typically a choker 16 inches around. You could do 16.5. You could do 17 inches, or you can have it long, short, whatever you prefer. I'm going to have to remove some links. So I'm going to see exactly where I'm going to position the butterflies because I'm going to attach the butterflies like so. So I'm going to gently remove it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my 4mm jump rings and I'm going to attach each butterfly to each end. Okay, so now I'm going to connect this part to the other one. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, so I've already attached the butterflies. I've attached my clasp and 6mm jump ring to this end. Now, and I've also attached the teardrop to the pendant. Okay, so now what I want to do, you might want to use tweezers for this. I'm going to clear up some of my jewelry because now it's time to glue on the acrylic gemstones. What I'm trying to do is I glued the two pink pieces down. And now I'm doing the yellow topaz, and then I'm going to do some green. I'll show it what it looks like after I'm done gluing it. Okay, so I just finished gluing everything. Now it's going to dry. So before I try it on, I need for it to dry. But that's what it's going to look like. And I'll probably be I'll add some pictures in here as soon as it dries of what it looks like on and what it looks like in a picture. So here it is. I'm going to hold it up. Use my beach background. It's finally finished. I glued, these are drying. I glued 2 yellow and 2 green and a pink one in the middle. I used the yellow topaz chain. And there it is. That I used Mod Podge to put that in, and a green bead, some 6mm and 4mm jump rings, a clasp, and that's it. So my battery's dying, so I'm gonna have to go. I just wanted you to see what it would look like. It's the spring, Victorian spring necklace. So when springtime comes, put this on, and there it is.